All right, here we go. Show number 48 of Into the Cubieverse. And we are live.
The Cubieverse is a GPS-based game where you walk via keys, use keys to open trivia vaults, answer trivia questions to earn rewards, and use those rewards to enhance your in-game experience or convert them to real-life rewards. Thanks for joining us tonight, and get ready as we take you into the Cubieverse. Hello, Gold Miner, Atrocities,
I'm
Hey,
Magic
Magic
Dragon.
Dragon.
Magic Dragon here, joining y'all. How was your week in the Cubieverse, Gold Miner?
Rather uneventful. We finished off the event. We were finished off the event a long time ago, but we were continuously trying to get more. I was stuck on getting just the common vault, common trees. I felt like I had enough straw and gold thread, and I'd gotten my blueprint and picked up a few extra blueprints for the epic trees, but other than that, after a while, I finally stopped. I thought it's not going to keep wasting all my yellow keys and my green keys, and happy where it ended. I don't know, back to normal. I'm trying to convince Atrocities to increase our walking, but with the weather we've been having, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
A little chilly here, so but other than that, had a buddy quest. Trade chats, and once they came back, were very uneventful. I don't think I've gotten one bonus drop, or did I get one?
No, I don't think you got anything.
Yeah, I don't think I got anything. We stopped through Dorchester on our way back from dropping our daughter off at school today. Got special there, but we did enjoy your pizza shop there as well while we were there. But yeah, very, very chill and, uneventful, really.
Yeah. The way it is after the holidays, right?
Oh, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. It's always nice to kind of just chill. So.
Yeah, once the event's done, it's kind of nice to just kind of take a step back and relax, right? The intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now starts the grind for getting ready for the Halloween and Christmas events of 2025.
Well, hold on. We have to Chinese New Year's first.
Lunar New Year, Lunar New Year before that.
I know, but everyone's, I don't know. To me, it's the pinnacle of the events are Halloween and Christmas.
At
least so far. Well, at least they're the most key heavy ones for sure. So you gotta really save up and get ready for those.
From what I've been reading on Discord, it sounds like you might be in luck for that same feeling that you like on that former Christmas one from 2 years ago for Chinese New Year. So it sounds like it's going to be quite the laborious event. So, so there you go. Who knows? But yeah. So what about you guys? One of you?
How was your
I'll go. Sure. Good week while I was still here. I had already spent the red key. I was making a big deal last week about how I wasn't feeling like I was going to spend the red key, blah, blah, blah. I had already spent it by that point. I didn't realize till after the show. I mean, on the blockchain, you just spend in the quest chain, you just do everything you have to. So, finish that. I did decide, though, to put my own epic tree down after I tried one more epic tree, no blueprint. I was like, I don't want to spend another 10 yellow keys trying to get the blueprint when I really wanted to save my tree for next year, but I didn't want to spend the yellow keys right now. So, that was my decision. That was fine. But I got my big tickler box. You used to call it a big tickler box because you're able to at least earn back all the keys you had spent by selling the products that you got in that tickler box. It was well worth it. Now it's the tickler box. I felt great. Nothing spectacular. No elemental hearts, no rare things from recent events that you still want, like corrupted ooze or things that could have been more pertinent to my requirements. But it was still nice. I feel accomplished because I finished and got it. Had an excellent buddy quest with Yellow Dog, Yellodog.
Mm-hmm.
Good communication, great job. Like, uh, one of those things where we make contact with each other, and it's like, yeah, sure, well, let's see when we coordinate. Anytime from between these hours, just message me. I can be there in 10 minutes. I message them right away, like, sure, I'll head out right now, 10 minutes, we'll get this done, and it was done.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the communication, like I say every single time. It's so key with me, and it's great when you can bang it out rather quickly.
Yeah, I think I've had one with him, or I think it was, or like that, and I remember it being really, really good one, for sure.
Yeah, like great communication. We're different time zones, but it's still a matter we're able to coordinate based on what we were doing at the time. We went away for the last 3 days, so we weren't around here. Always like getting to explore new areas. We're up in the Whitby, Oshawa area. Not as many user vaults as I was expecting to see. Lots of green vaults, which unfortunately weren't within reach of us going to all the tournament for the arenas and everything. We were on deadlines to get our daughter to the train to go back to university. So I didn't get the green vaults like I wanted to. But I did find I was able to do the 2 white user vault quests from yesterday. I was able to find those. I didn't see it for HAC, but it was still nice seeing new areas, and I was able to complete, I think, 3 days worth of Cubieverse over the 3 days by getting just vaults.
Mm.
And it was driving, like we'd go for a bunch of Orions driving, and I'd be playing my game just along the 401, getting all on the side. It was great being able to reach all those vaults. I know I say it every time, but that's been the best change or best addition to the game, increasing the radiuses.
I was doing the same thing today as we took our daughter back to school too.
Yeah.
And I think I went up about 2 or 3 levels going going there and back. So
Yeah, it's great. How about you, Atrocities? Anything to add that Gold Miner didn't say for you? Right. Yep. No, no, of course.
So,
It's,
sorry.
somebody's saying they can't hear you, Atrocities.
Yeah, I got a new mic here for Christmas, and I hit the mute button there on it. So
no.
I've unmuted myself now, so it should be, hopefully it's improved or fixed the issue.
Yeah.
But I did actually notice that before the commentary came in. So, but yeah, new mic. So I'm working on that. So as to the Cubieverse, as a decent buddy quest, we were thinking about maybe preparing for the upcoming lunar event by building up our key totals. So we're thinking maybe we'll just keep walking, do some more walking, get those goals, kind of get the adventure road objectives, and then just build our keys up. So I was at one point thinking maybe I'm not going to purchase adventure road this month, but after second day, I decided no, that's I should do that.
Yeah.
I was my thought. Yeah, well, no, it wasn't so much a FOMO. My initial thought was, if I don't purchase the adventure road the first month, then I don't have a streak going where I'm like, oh, but I've got all these cowboys, and I want to make sure if there's whatever, and in that way there's no pressure, and I can evaluate the adventure road resource rewards on their individual basis each month. So I was inclined not to, but then I thought, no, this is the first month of the change. I do want to get the cubies, but my plan would be, if I'm not purchasing the adventure road, because I want to build up my total of crystal keys as well, is that I would make every effort to acquire them in the auction house.
Right.
But then I thought, well, if there's changes going on this month, maybe people don't want to sell them. So I am going to get it this month, despite having thought
And
twice
evaluate every month after
about
that.
it. Yeah. But it will all depend on how easy it is to pick up the Cowboys, or I guess it's Western, isn't it? It's not just Cowboys.
Yeah.
In the auction house. So we'll test
That's
this
right.
month and we'll see. So
Oh,
that's,
excellent. Oh, one little aside. One thing I forgot. Bunch of O'Brien's got second in the world for builder.
hey,
Excellent.
congratulations.
Yeah. So yeah, that worked out total. She got 5 red keys, 55 blue keys, and a nail gun Kelly.
Nice.
Yeah.
5 reds.
So
That'll pay for a few.
yep.
That'll pay for a few.
I'm gearing up for a few months from now. I'm gonna be trying to do a similar thing.
Yep.
You know.
I got. That reminds me. I got an award showed up for one of my referrals. Finished top 10 in the world.
Oh.
And ended up getting. I ended up getting like 80 blue keys as a result of it. So
Really?
that
Nice.
was a nice little bonus I wasn't expecting.
You said
So.
you're welcome.
What a coincidence,
I
eh?
don't think she's ever listening, and then all of a sudden she's like, "You're welcome." There you go.
So yeah.
Yeah, you've done well from her for referral wise, haven't you? Over the few years.
I
You
certainly have.
yellow-
It's like, honestly, that's my only actual referral that I got connected. Gold miner, we set up her account, then realized after the fact, oh, I should have done the referral thing, but it was
Yeah.
too late at that point, right? So,
Right.
but it is. But I know Gold Miner's got a referral, and she get that occasionally. She gets a few benefits out of. So
Yeah.
it's nice when it comes through.
Bunch of O'Brien's is my referrer, and I haven't really done much for her.
Are you,
I'm mostly a casual player, right? So she did get the yellow key out of me or something at one point for, I can't remember what that was for.
The first time you hit walking goal 8, maybe
Yeah, maybe that's what it
something
was.
like that. That
Yeah.
was like,
But it took a little longer for that to happen than she would have liked. But
hold on, she should get something after you print an epic as well, or finish the quest chain. She should have gotten that if you finish the quest chain.
for the first time.
for the first time, first time, that was I can't remember which one that was. The first one I finished.
Maybe forgot. That was a long time ago. We probably forget about
And
it.
it could have been Christmas 2 years ago was the first one I finished, because that was the Halloween that really burned my ass. I rage sold my skeleton blueprint because we were gone away to a tournament. It was impossible. There's no one around there to have cauldrons. It was virtually impossible for me to finish the whole quest chain to get the resources to print the skeleton. So I had spent my red key, got the blueprint from something, or I can't remember. I did find one epic cauldron. Couldn't get the resources. I'm like, screw it. Sold it for 1,700 keys at the time.
So you made.
So I got my red key back plus 700 extra keys. It was great. And then in the Cubieverse, I spent 200,000 Cubie coins to rebuy the skeleton blueprint that I once had for nothing, but now I wanted it back because I didn't have it yet. So, don't rage sell any of your resources. It might seem like what you want to do at the time, but don't do it. That's my advice to you, because you'll want them back eventually.
I agree. I agree. But
Yeah, but I think I think it was the Christmas event may have been the first one I finished. The first one I ever did was the Halloween event. That's when I first joined. Was the Hawaii event.
Hawaii, yes.
Yeah, Hawaii event. That was the first one I participated in, and I really enjoyed that. But I didn't come close to finishing it.
No, and that was one of the ones we went hard for. Well, for one of the first big events I think I participated in, but was not able to complete it.
Right.
Because I think we were still needed like another 1,000 white vaults or so at the
Right.
time, and had nowhere near the keys. So
Yeah.
I ended up buying the turtle blueprint because that was the final one there for like
Right.
300,000 or so last year. Um,
Oh,
which I would have had obviously if we
yeah.
had a lot more keys at the time, but that was not the.
You
Yeah.
know, I remember those days when I was like walking and just get like not walking, but like back when it was like walk, use the keys from the walk, and start back at zero the next day again. And gosh, that was quite the challenge back in those days, wasn't it?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was. It was. There was
because
time I was like, hey, before we walk over to the blue vault, let's do some white vault so I can hopefully win a blue key. So I actually have a blue key so I can open that vault too.
Hmm.
yeah,
Well, or even back to the day when they only had blue key, well, blue, green, and
Oh yeah, it was blue. I mean the green. Yeah, we
yeah,
ain't
I
going
think
to the
you were.
green vault. Let's open the blue one to try and earn a green key. That's what I
yeah,
meant.
yeah,
Yeah, because
no,
you got your mystery boxes 3 times a day, and they were ranged
Yeah.
between like 2 and 8 keys, and like you got
Yeah.
8 keys, and that was like like big win to big win. Of course, you also
So
be able to collect the keys off the map at that point in time. So,
Yeah.
and that all obviously all depended upon where you were, where the keys were, and everything else. So,
Right.
yeah, I forgot about that. That's back when we used to go for drives to collect more keys too.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and
Um,
you have a strategy too, where like you're driving along, and sometimes like okay, there's a key up there. If I answer this vault, I may not be able to get the key. So what do I want to
Right.
prioritize? So,
Yep.
so Javone has said that's still why she's a hoarder, and Plumber Boy said he sold his skeleton blueprint and has seller's remorse now too. So you're not
Yeah.
the only one. Um,
Oh, but I
I,
sold it because I was mad. I was so we were gonna complete that event. Everything was going and coming up roses. We had the big setup here. Then we went to Collingwood.
Mhm.
Dead zone. Nothing. There was like we spawned our own couple of cauldrons in there. And I was like, I'm not even gonna get close. I've been playing so hard. I already spent my red key because I was committing to finishing this event. So I'll spend the red key. The first event I'm gonna finish, and I was so mad. We took a detour back through Orangeville or something to go to find an epic cauldron, and I got the blueprint, but I still was nowhere near the resources.
right.
So I was like so mad. I was like, I'm selling it. I want my red key back. And then I'm like, now, so many times later, hey, equip a skeleton cubie, or there was daily quests and stuff. It's like everything taunted me.
Just like
Finally got it
that,
back.
just like that Nutcracker, gold miner.
yeah, yeah. Like I was close to rage quitting. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna sell anything, but rage quitting after that. Like I said to Atrocities, I need to take time off of this. I am so fed up with this that I don't know if I can continue to play.
All you had to do was drive to Toronto and not get it there either.
Yeah. Well, when we went to Coin Hunt Fest in Las Vegas, I
Yeah.
remember sitting beside Cocoa Puffs, and I was telling him how this has got to change. Do you know how
Yeah.
frustrating this is and how maddening it was? And
Yeah.
the point of the game is to walk, and yet we're spending hours upon hours a day
Yeah.
driving all around to multiple different cities and towns trying to stupid blueprint. And
Yeah.
if I'm paying my key, you should be getting you should almost be guaranteed like they do it now. And at least you have an option to pay for it or not, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like
obviously
maybe
they changed that.
Pardon?
Your first key, you have a 10% chance of getting the blueprint. The second key you spend, you have a 20% chance of getting it. Like, there's still. I would be okay with something like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Like,
but I do
yes,
like
I love.
I like
Go
the
on.
idea of how, you spend your red key, you get it, and then you get
Yeah.
the blueprint from your resource, right? So
Yeah.
that being said, lunar events coming up, and it's not the guaranteed blueprint because that's not the way this
Oh,
one's
no?
working, right? 'Cause
Okay. I haven't. seen anything about the event
So
whatsoever.
I'm just basing it on last year. If you recall, Lionheart last year was driving all over the place because you could only get it at trade shacks, and he was not able to get a drop from from a trade shack at all. So he ended up eventually buying the blueprint for, 500,000 or so after selling a lot of his resources.
Right. What were the cubies that we were going for and the blueprints?
The Jade, it was his Jade Dragon.
And stuff.
That was the big one for that one. That he wasn't able to get that. So.
Oh yes, I do. Oh, I do remember that now. It was like trade shack number 47 for me or something. I finally got the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, because
I remember that.
I think Gold Miner was up to like 60, 70 epics that one Christmas tree that she couldn't get it.
Yeah,
I want to say 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you were coming up to Dorchester twice a day. You went to Stratford at the switch over to get it twice, and it was crazy.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah,
that was intense. So,
yep.
So speaking of Christmas event, final wrap up on that. How do you rate this Christmas event versus the previous Christmas event, and or likewise, how do you compare it, rate it versus the Halloween events? And guess as an overall, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your thoughts on this event?
Gold Miner, you go first while I put my thoughts together.
He being Illusion Weaver made comments in Discord saying it was supposed to be more of a chill, relaxed event, which
it was.
It was.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, like I know Magic Dragon, you said you liked that kind of event from 2 years ago with the Nutcracker.
Well, a little bit of it. I missed that competitive side of it.
Well, I think
that's what was lacking.
I think that's also like part of that is because back then we were much newer players and we didn't have the resources like we have now. Like everything is much easier. You have a good sample or a good supply of a lot of the resources where, I got the blueprint I can print now, and you kind of know how things work, and so it was a more chill that way, which honestly I never want to have to be driving around to all the different cities against my will. I was forcing Atrocities to come with me because he got it really early on that time, but it just felt like I'm like rage driving for hours trying to get the. I never want that again.
And every time she put in a key and didn't get it, I was just like, I just want to get her to get it so then we can just chill out. So. And
my jaw would clench even more each time. Like it was just like, oh. But, this was definitely a chiller event than in the past, which honestly, I didn't mind that. Like it was almost kind of boring as well, though, which was not as fun. The new decorations kind of made it a little bit more enjoyable. But that said, I think there needs to be some tweaking done for those because as much as we look like Christmas grown up all over our area.
Decorations is another topic. I just want to.
Okay.
Overall.
But overall, like I liked the event. Like I got everything I needed and more, and to be able to print that Twilight was icing on the cake. I'm still working on my Matrix, so the Twilight is rare. Kind of just made my day that I actually did get it. So
I like that. And I don't know if I can give it an overall rating out of 10. I don't know. Like, it was a great event. It was different than what I was expecting. But I don't know.
Okay, so let's, if you don't want to give a grading, let's say better or worse than last year? Or the same?
Different?
Different. Okay.
Better or worse?
Different in a good way?
Worse in a way and better in a way. Like, I did like how it was still, but it was also like the trade checks were a disappointment, a massive disappointment. When
the trade checks were let down, but overall the event was great. I really liked the low key nature of it. It was fun, but it, I guess there was a competitive side. Everyone who already had all the resources and everybody who was ready, they all had an equal opportunity to try and finish the event at the same time or first. So it was a race again for the print.
And
I really, really like the events where everyone is on equal, like a level playing field.
Yeah,
like Halloween, 2 Halloweens ago, a bunch of O'Briens got the first Scarecrow blueprint, first Scarecrow print in the game, because luckily she got extra straw. It's straw or hay. Straw.
Whichever.
Got straw
it's interchangeable.
From the Witch game. Yeah, from the Witch game. So that was the only reason she was able to get the first print, because she got a bonus win through that. So I love how all the different parts of the game work together, so anybody can get the first print, right?
Yeah, but likewise, that was easily an hour or two after that blueprint became available in the game, right? It wasn't like instantaneously, right? And that's the one thing I don't like what we're seeing in this event and the previous events or so, whereby the moment the time constraint drops, you're seeing boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, 10 minutes later, someone's printing the first epic, and you know what's going to happen. That's the part I didn't like about the event.
Yeah.
Yes, but also some people got the epic right away because they had to plant those epic trees down. So they were, before that timer was off, they just couldn't complete the quest chain. And to comment you said, where everybody's on a level playing field, I find that a little bit more fun too. Like you feel like you're in more of a race, and I prefer events like that. I think they need to come up with something with all new resources and just a new blueprint.
I'm happy that the Halloween events are sort of repetitive. Christmas event is sort of using the resources from the past. As long as they introduce a different event, like they're planning to have an event almost all the time, is what they said the last Hunting Lodge, right? So I'm sure it'll happen again, that there'll be brand new events that anybody can go for. So
and what I proposed in the past is for these events when they kick off, like the straw or hay, whatever it is, like just call it event straw, right? And the blueprint for the initial during the event it uses event straw. So that way you can have a race. And once the event's over, event straw just becomes normal straw.
It becomes normal straw, yeah.
All right. So then you've got, that intensity of the race, because I think a lot of people really like the race, right?
Yeah. Now, play the opposite side of what I've just been arguing. Using the same resources over and over again can help some of the rural players like myself or others be competitive and go for the race next year. Like if it's new resources every time in an event, the rural players don't have a chance to be the first at anything.
But
if you get to reuse some resources in that event, then they can be competitive. They can just luck come down to the RNG and stuff of who gets the draw.
But on the same token, how happy do you feel spending a green key and getting 250 straw?
Right.
Well, but that's the straw, and unfortunately, that resource was something that got devalued because it was like the fourth or fifth time it's been in the game, right? So, if it was not straw, say it was like using bolts again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be like, I want the bolts. I need bolts, right? So, the problem is straw has just been, as I said, it's in everything. And,
so much of it lately. Yeah.
Right? And likewise, with the straw, like during the Farmer Hank, which is supposed to show up again, you can put that in and get straw for a white key, or it's blue, or a blue key, right? You can get that much straw for a blue key. So,
Yeah.
So there is some, so there, I don't know, it's more of, in that case, they gotta look at the economy of certain things when they're making up some of these formulas. So,
But I look at it this way: knowing that now, next time Farmer Hank comes up, and instead of spending a green key to get 250 hay at a future Christmas or Halloween event, people might go a little harder for the Farmer Hank events to gather up as much hay as they can.
But it's not, you're not putting it in for the hay. You're trying to get the golden thread, right?
No, I know, but knowing that you can get resources that cost more in other events, if it becomes even the straw that it comes available in the Farmer Hank, be like, okay, I'll spend 100 white keys to stock up my straw, so I don't have to pay for it in the future at another event. So the fact that they cross the resources across events, I think is really great and smart of the game.
No, and I've got no problems in recycling events. It's just straws been like in everything. And Jay Bone just made here a great comment that said maybe they'll need straw to make a grass skirt for the new Hawaii event. So
yeah,
you know,
that'd be hilarious, and then we won't be complaining, bitching about it.
All right. So, all right. So, okay. So, and just going back to answer my question here, I like the Halloween event better than this Christmas event. And likewise, I like last year's Halloween event better than this year's Halloween. This event just seemed like it was a little more chill. People were completed. I think we completed most of it in, day or two versus needing that full time and going hard or whatnot. Yeah. So that being said, we still went out. We still collected vault trees and collected a lot because it's like it's there. We want to do it. But we didn't feel the intensity to have to go and do it, which as a chill thing for Christmas, I don't mind that because if we had other things going on, that's a good thing. But and if we know that's the level of Christmas, that's cool. Obviously, some of these other events are a little more intense. That's fine. And once again, just want to clarify here, as much as we're talking about the event and we're critiquing it, we're trying to be constructive here. I had fun. I enjoyed the event. I'm glad they did it. The quality of the cubies they produced was great. Everything they did was great. And what we're talking about here is tweaks we'd like to see to help maybe make it better. But, once again, just want to say, I think they did put on a great time, great event. There were... there's one bug in this one, which is actually better than a lot of them. So, so as a quality event, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think they probably achieved what they wanted to do, but personally, I prefer maybe a more of intense event where it feels like I'm competing, because I think that's the end of the day.
Right.
I didn't feel like there was any the competition from this one was gone. For the one like 2 years ago, whereby it was like, okay, if we go, let's go out, and if I can get this one resource, then I'll be able to get like the 5th print on this or something like that. I felt like there's some competition, and this was like, as opposed to this instantaneously whatever. And as I said, like at the Halloween event, it was like the fastest fingers competition because when that one dropped, it was like, who's the fastest fingers to get, collect it, get it printed, and get through the quest chain. Because I know gold mine. So I thought, I'm not going to compete in this gold miner where you went for that, and you had it printed and in your hand and equipped. A couple minutes before the message went out that somebody was the first print, right? So we're thinking now that maybe we got it, right? Who knows? So
sorry. Likewise, Novel Norm did say in regards to cubies that he loved I'm assuming I'm sorry if I'm generalizing here, but Novel Norm, I'm thinking is a male. He said he loved the Angel. I also love the Angel on that. I think the graphics on that was good. But sorry, I'm cutting back. But Rael said 9 out of 10 if you got to burn through your wrapping paper on day 1. 6 out of 10 if you didn't. That bug was great for those who knew about it. and I personally don't think I would have gotten the blueprint printed, like the Twilight QE printed, if I didn't have, like, I went through 39, I think, before I got it.
But it
But that was,
wasn't during. You
Yeah.
got it after the fact from an actual.
it was after,
Right.
but still.
Yeah.
And likewise, we didn't know it was a bug, right? Because I thought when you showed that to me, like, oh, okay, then maybe we didn't
They must have
understand.
changed it.
They
Yeah.
changed it, or we didn't quite understand, or whatever.
Well,
So
there's many
So I
times
guess I could actually give it a bit of a out of 10 rating for comparing it to the last. I've done 3 Christmas events now. This was my least favorite event, but best looking. Because I don't think the decorations are a separate subject or topic, because they went part of it. I really liked it. I would do it again. If they changed nothing, I would do it again. 7.5 out of 10 overall. The event, for whether it's being competitive or getting it done, it was really easy to get done, even if you're on your own. The past 2 events, I give them at least 9s, 9.5 out of 10 for the Christmas events. So this one seemed a little lacking to me, but still would 100% recommend and do it again, exactly as it was.
and to your point for doing it on your own, even if you're doing it on your own, they did release the loot code at the start of the event that gave you
2
trees,
different looks,
and then there's a second loot code that gave you more trees. So if you had access to those, you could definitely have made,
Yeah, which I think is
good
great.
chance
The more I can't say anything bad about any events in the game when they're designed to make new players, able to complete it and be part of it and to do it. Like, I can't imagine joining this game with no one else in my area and these events going on being like, well, that was useless, right? So I really am very proud of them. I'm very proud of them.
yeah, because
running the event for everybody.
I first joined the game probably a week before the Christmas event started. And I had no idea what was going on, the whole thing. I may have gotten to the second thing in the quest chain. I think it was dropping. You're supposed to get an elf blueprint. I never got the elf blueprint in order to advance. So it's definitely improved it from a newbie friendly sort of view at that point, for sure. I appreciate it. And likewise now, obviously, if you're brand new, you may not have the keys to get as far as you want, but
candy canes.
yeah, and candy canes might be a little frustrating. And obviously, if you don't have access to trade shacks or everything else, that's a problem.
Yeah.
But as I said, trade shacks, if you don't have access to trade shack in the area, that's your number one thing you got to work on getting built up, right?
Yeah.
So, for sure. Now, let's switch and let's talk specifically about the decorations, because I know I cut you off there, Gold Miner. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. I ended up buying a lot of decorations. A lot more of them came from the from the auction house. But sorry, just to jump back to some comments. Novel Worm said he was in an area without a vending machine, so that was not recommended.
Yeah.
And then Rael said he'd add to the score because so many people said they finally finished their first event, which.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that was also good.
That's a great thing.
But Rael loves selling the decorations, but
that's in response to Jay Bone's comment that he loved the decorations.
Yeah. Yes, love the decorations. I love the decorations as well. Like, it needs some tweaks where, like, basically there were vaults around here that we couldn't even get because of all the decorations around. So they need to kind of clear the areas. Likewise, we're so big that you could barely see some of the smaller trees for the game to play, like to the common tree, I guess.
But that's on us as players. Where we place them. We if they were a problem, we could have picked them up and moved them, right?
Oh, I know.
We didn't.
We shrunk some as well, so that we'd be easier accessible. But likewise, when you're planting your actual trees for the game, like the questions, you always made your trees super large, where you're driving around going, is this common? Is this like, you know? Um, and I guess I was the opposite side where I was just letting them be whatever they came out as, and you know the smaller ones got hidden amongst everything else. Got hidden amongst the decorations. So.
Yeah. So I look forward to seeing what they're doing with the decorations in the future for the seasons. I think it's a nice it is a nice addition to the game.
Yeah, it feels naked though looking around.
after the fact. Yeah. I like the fact that like we placed a ton of decorations here. It was great. But I like driving along and finding a decoration out there in the wild someplace that we didn't know from another player.
Did we really
clear in the area?
We found some around Ark's Wings place that they must have placed or so.
Oh.
Okay, and then I dropped some around there too, the as well. So
we ended up having so many that we're just like planned it, like just we're stopped at a dropping one here, and you know I think 6.
Why not?
I ended up buying. What was interesting is a ton of them were in the auction house, so I ended up like buying a bunch in the auction house, because I'd rather pay Cubicoin than Crystal Keys. I don't know why people were buying them with Crystal Keys and putting in Cubicoin. Whoever those people were, Secret Santas, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Because I picked up a lot in the auction house, which was great, right? And anybody that did that for other people, thank you very much. I know, like, I bought like was it a sleigh initially? No, it was a sleigh, but then I bought the snowman, one snowman, and then like the first night I see in the auction house there was like 5 more or 10. No, there's like 12 more for like 10,000 or something like that, and I'm just like, bam, buy it now. And there were a few other ones like that I just buy it now. So I think I finally got all of my decoration prints out like the last day of the event, because we put a ton around here, but then it's like, okay, I got all these other ones left. Where am I going to put them? So that was a lot of fun. I really like that. So hopefully they do more of that nature. It'd be kind of cool if they had seasons like that where you would put decorations out for either around the event, or even if there's not an event going on, you put like spring decorations out, and then that are good for, and say they're good for a month, and at the end of the month they get cleaned up and put away, and that way people can put them back out again if they're still relevant.
You plant like tulips in the spring.
Definitely. I would like to see you doing that for sure. Give me a job. So
some cherry block trees.
Right. I love decorations. They're great. Did you end up Magic Dragon, did you end up getting many or use many?
No, I bought some, but I think I put one down. It was just, I knew what was going on here. We were spending most of our time going to London when we could. It was just so busy for the holiday season. We put a few down around our house. Actually, there was a few of them, not just the one. It was cute. I liked it. I'll get more into it in the future.
Okay, so jumping back to the event a little bit. We were supposed to be getting kickbacks from planting our trees for the event. Yeah. And I had read that we were supposed to get a kickback a couple days ago, or they were supposed to arrive a few days ago. Anyone?
Okay.
Like, I know we used our own trees a heck of a lot. Yeah. Our area a heck of a lot. Get anything?
Chat, has questions to you.
Pardon?
It's the chat. It's a question we're hoping to get an answer from the chat on, because obviously, we're not.
I've not noticed anything.
No, like
I definitely used the one. I planted one common tree directly next to my headquarters. I used it twice a day, every day, for sure. So there would be at least one extra key come back from the Christmas tree. I didn't notice would that have been Friday night? Like I collected all my.
Yeah. So Rael made a comment here that said, I'm not going to try the name. Is manually going to do it next week. So that sounds like a heck of a job if they're manually calculating all that up.
Okay.
And sending them out. So.
Right.
Yeah. That's one heck of a job. So.
Yeah, it would be.
But it sounded though like it wasn't just individual tree basis. They're going to combine all of your trees and do it on a combined basis, right? So because if some trees only had like 4 in them or 5 in them, then you wouldn't get anything. But if you had 4 trees with 5 each, you would get 1. So that's.
Yeah.
Oh no! I think it was on all uses, not just a certain amount.
Yeah, well, it's 5%, right? So you need 20. You need 20 uses before you get 1 key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
So if they combine them all, then that's what he's saying, and I think that's what they're doing as well.
Okay.
Whew.
It's a nice payout. If we get that, that'd be good, and unlike previous years. So cool. So anything else anybody wants to talk about Christmas, or have we beaten it? Do we got dead
done.
reindeer? Okay.
I think I'm done.
Done till next year. All right.
Yeah.
See you later, Novel Norm. Jill, I hope that they're combined, like they're only combined as into the common, rare, and epic trees. So, because how else would they do it? Like I would think you'd get 10% of a. Well, I guess they're all going to be blue keys probably then, right?
Well, we'll see how they do it, right? Like if it's yellows and then they just combine your yellows and treat that as 1,000 whites, that might actually be.
I get a green key from my green vault every week, right? So.
Yeah, for sure. So awesome. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh.
Grinch.
Guys, long week.
Rail saying Grinch next year, 2,000 fur, 1,000 coal, and 1 onion.
Right,
yeah.
Right
I like it.
Have problems with that, but.
All right. So then, obviously, Lunar New Year is January 29th. This year. That event, I think Gold Miner, we saw something that was preliminary talked about it being an event 29th to the 5th of February this year, which will be, as I said, a little more intense than this one was, i.e. you're not guaranteed. It's a drop at a trade shack. So obviously people that have more access to trade shacks have a better chance. So you still got, if you don't have all 3 trade shacks of yours up and built, go get it done. You got time to get it done. Likewise, I know I did a calculation last year or so between it was before the Christmas event and the end of October, and it was like 49 days, and I did a calculation which said, like, in those 49 days, if you are hitting your walking goal 3 every day, you'll have enough keys coming into you that you'll need to be able to put them in and get through the quest chain. That won't give you any keys, mind you, to actually play the game between now and then and or do the event.
Yeah.
So
level 6 to begin.
Right? So level 6 or better, or even level 4 would give you at least 4 blue keys a day, which does build up. Yeah. And if you've got keys already, then you've got those to play with. But the point is that obviously it's less time now between now and the 29th, but if you are short on keys, have been short on keys, just get out there, get your walking goals, and you can put a good showing in for that event. Likewise, it's if you've got trade shacks, that's going to be the different. That's what you're going to want, right? You may not even need to care to complete the full quest chain and get the tickler box. If you throw in a key into the trade shack and get your get your epic blueprint. So that's the key. And then the other thing I wanted to mention here, new category, DIY this month.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, great category.
Rather easy, except for some of the answers I think are kind of inaccurate. But well, like where do you find a furnace vent or filter in your furnace area? Not in all the HVAC system. Like it's actually in the furnace itself, right? Like it made it sound for all the ductwork, right? Was it atrocity?
Yeah, it sounded like it was I think it was the answer was air in the air duct or in the HVAC duct or something like that, as opposed to actually in the furnace, right? So the answer was obvious based upon all the other choices, but the wording was a little off on some of them.
And there's been multiple ones that have been kind of questionable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But maybe questionable, but obvious still the answer which they meant, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, there was an eaves trough one that wasn't an eaves trough. What collects the rainwater?
Where's rainwater go from? Yeah.
Where does the rainwater go from the roof?
And it's a rain barrel is the answer.
Rain barrel?
Rain barrel is the answer?
Yeah, but, you know.
I haven't seen that question, so.
Okay. Anyways, there was some. I'm liking the category. Initially I thought DIY, like, oh, I might be a little whatever. I started doing the questions, like, oh, I like these. I can do these, right? So,
yeah.
Great addition to the game. Might be some tweaking on some of the questions, just to make the wording make sense with the answer. But you know, a lot of the answers are pretty obvious, which is great.
Maybe you should just leave a rain barrel sitting out in your backyard and it will collect the water.
For sure. And Plumber Boy here agrees. It goes in the furnace, not in the vent. So, and he should know. So.
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, I was looking for furnace, not vents. You don't put filters in the vents. It goes in the filter rack in the furnace. So. Plumber Boy, I think that sounds like you need to submit a ticket.
Maybe in other countries, wherever, like whoever created the question, maybe it's different.
I can't be because it's
like
the HVAC systems have to be very similar, right? Don't you think?
Okay, maybe like in a country where there's all heat, it's warm all year round, and they don't have furnaces. Maybe they perceive that's what you do.
Yeah, I guess if you live in the desert, that might be a thing. So, so then, all right. So final topic here is that this is show 48, but next year is actually going to be the first anniversary, or next week is going to be the first anniversary of the first ever Into the Cubieverse show, and we're hoping to do something special, celebrate that 1 year anniversary or so of 1 year.
We have no idea what that something special is.
We're gonna figure. We're hoping.
Okay. Sorry, I would like to say that Jabone says in my house in California the filters are in the cold air returns. Just putting that out there. So.
It's California.
Maybe.
Yeah, I thought when I got that question, I thought it said something like in your HVAC system, is what I thought. So it seemed very generic to me to cover any location, but it was in there. It wasn't in my water softener, which was one of the other. I don't know if that was one. It was. I don't know. It seemed like the answer was obvious based on the other options.
So. We ruined. Sorry, I ruined Atrocity's 1 year anniversary.
No.
Yes,
clearly, the HVAC question is super important, and we want to make sure that they get that right for everybody, right? So
but next week.
Next week, 1 year anniversary. We're hoping to get a loot code giveaway of some sort for live viewers. Don't have that locked down yet, but we're hoping. Yeah. Maybe a tickler box, a big tickler box come back for everybody. Probably as a gift. Probably not, but you know.
Probably not.
But we'll see. But yeah, we'll
Yeah.
that's next.
We'll be
But
back with some words of wisdom and definite advice for you how to play this game.
for sure.
Our
Well,
expert advice. We'll be back with that next week for sure.
I think we learn from the chat for the most part too as we're talking about this. So it's been a great,
Oh, for sure.
it's been a great year. So, anyways, this is going to be the last show of the first year, and next week will be the first anniversary of Into the Cubieverse, and we'll figure things
We
out
will
from there.
try to. We will try to have something set up for it. If you have any ideas, let us know in the comments. You want to be part of the show someday? Let us know in the comments. You know, give us your take on what's going on in your little neck of the woods. That'd be great.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Yeah,
have,
interested in being part of the show and coming on, as Magic Dragon said. We'd love to have any and all.
yeah, for sure. Maybe next week we'll have all the former guests on the show come back on or so.
Yeah, something.
We shall see. So, anyways, that's all I've got. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Anybody else have anything you want to add?
Nice. No, that's good for me.
Happy hunting.
All right.
We'll
Happy
see
hunting,
Happy hunting,
everybody.
guys.
See you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.